Since debuting with The Duelists in 1977, Ridley Scott has shaped modern cinema across genres, from redefining sci-fi with Alien and Blade Runner to resurrecting the historical epic with Gladiator. His career spans cosmic horror, cyberpunk, medieval warfare, and gritty realism, yet one of his more surprising opinions is that several of his most celebrated works are actually superhero movies. In a 2023 interview with Deadline while promoting Napoleon, Scott revealed he has no interest in directing traditional cape-and-cowl blockbusters. Still, he claimed he has already made 2 or 3 superhero films, citing Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley in Alien, Russell Crowe's Maximus in Gladiator, and Harrison Ford's Rick Deckard in Blade Runner. To Scott, these characters fit the archetype, only with better stories. It's an intriguing perspective, but one that many fans, and even the films themselves, seem to challenge. Why Scott's superhero label feels misplaced. While superhero stories often revolve around extraordinary individuals, the brilliance of Alien, Gladiator, and Blade Runner is how grounded their heroes are. Ripley in Alien is no genetically enhanced savior. She's a working-class officer aboard a mining ship, surviving through intelligence and caution rather than superhuman ability. That vulnerability is what gives the first film its relentless tension. Maximus in Gladiator performs extraordinary feats, but his power comes from grit, leadership, and moral conviction, not supernatural gifts. His revenge arc is rooted in grief and humanity. Deckard in Blade Runner is most compelling when seen as an ordinary man wrestling with moral ambiguity, not as an unstoppable antihero. Even the replicant theory, which Scott embraces, risks diluting the emotional weight of his choices. By recasting these characters as superheroes, some of the film's most resonant themes, human fragility, moral compromise, and the triumph of perseverance over power, get lost. The stakes depend on ordinary heroes. Part of Alien's enduring terror is that anyone can die. The crew of the Nostromo aren't warriors or demigods. They're cargo haulers deceived by a ruthless corporation. Ripley survives not because she's destined to, but because she refuses to ignore the rules in a crisis. That realism vanishes if we view her as inherently super. Similarly, Maximus' story isn't mythic because he's unbeatable. It's powerful because he fights knowing his cause will kill him. And Deckard's journey has greater moral punch if he's a flawed human confronting the cost of his own actions. Old-school directors versus modern superhero cinema. Scott's comments align him with filmmakers like Martin Scorsese, who view most superhero blockbusters as spectacle-driven and narratively shallow. Still, unlike Scorsese, Scott sees parallels between his work and the genre, albeit with richer storytelling. And yes, his films share certain tropes. Maximus has an origin of betrayal and exile, replicants have enhanced abilities, and Ripley becomes more action-oriented in later Alien sequels. But these connections are surface level. The emotional impact comes not from superpowers, but from ordinary people facing impossible odds. Why Scott's classics endure. Whether or not one agrees with Scott's superhero comparison, his films remain towering achievements in cinematic history. Alien, Gladiator, and Blade Runner continue to inspire new generations of filmmakers and audiences, not because their leads are superhuman, but because they embody the courage, resilience, and flaws of being human. Calling them superhero stories might make for an interesting thought experiment, but it risks flattening the depth that has made these films timeless.